My name is Mary Walker Miller. I'm with Moxie Pro Realty. I have been in the real estate industry for more than 30 years. I have a passion for helping people find that perfect house or sell their home for the top dollar. I like to help them stage, get the house ready.
Hi, I'm Jessie Haga. I'm a member of Team Mary Homes. And I got into business after my husband is a home inspector, and after watching him for 15 years deal with clients and agents, I worked with Mary often and watch how well she handled clients, and I really wanted to be a member of that community and really helping people find their forever home.
Hi Jessie, how are you?
Hi Mary, I'm good. How are you today?
Yeah, just thought we'd sit down and one of the things I thought we should talk about today is the state of the market. The real estate market has been a very unique animal. I have been selling real estate for more than 30 years, and I've seen the highs and the lows.
And you've been in Jacksonville the whole time?
The whole time, yeah.
Wow.
Selling in this area. So, yeah, but we're coming out of a very interesting market. I remember for 20 of the years I could predict how much interest rates would be and how much the value of a property would go up, and it was pretty predictable, and I can't do that anymore. If you took 2008 out of it, the market would go up about 3% a year, and then 2008 things went crazy. Then they came back down, and they kind of normalized again back on that same trajectory. Mm-hmm. Then COVID came, and while we were shut down, real estate was deemed essential, and people wanted to come here. Mm-hmm. They wanted to live in the free state of Florida, and we sold a lot of houses without anybody seeing. They didn't even have to see them. They said, "I'll take it." It was the craziest thing I ever saw.
Yep.
We had one of the best years we ever had.
Some houses doubled in price.
Isn't that crazy?
We bought a house in 2019, 2020. This is the end of 2019. And so just before COVID started, and we sold it for double what we paid.
When did you sell it? 22?
Yeah.
So 3 years and it doubled.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You might have fixed it up a little bit too. I know your husband.
Yes, there was a little bit. We redid the pool when we, did
some other things, but
remodeling.
still.
Yeah.
I had the same experience. As a matter of fact, I lived near you and sold for almost double. Now I was there a little bit longer, but for probably 5 years. Yeah. But still, yeah. So the market's been very interesting. Mm-hmm. But now we're looking at an even more interesting market. Yeah. For the last 3 or 4 years, there was not enough inventory after COVID, and so that drove the prices up. People did not want to sell their house. They didn't know what was coming, so they stayed on it. So not many people put their homes on the market, and so that drove the prices up. Mm-hmm. And people coming from other states. Yeah. I had a lot of people come from California and from New York, and they thought these prices were fabulous.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chris, my husband, he's a home inspector, so he was doing inspections at that time, and he had people who sold, they sold a condo on Long Island for whatever price they sold it for, moved down here and bought beachfront property for less than what they sold their condo for.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Well, what that's created though is Jacksonville was always a nice residential, military, not a high-priced town with beaches, with river, lots of outdoor activities, very family-oriented. And what it's done is it's put us on the map.
Oh yeah.
What really put Jacksonville on the map was 20 some odd years ago. The Jaguars came here because nobody ever heard of Jacksonville before that. But then when COVID hit, people wanted to come to Florida, and they wanted a reasonable, because if you went down to Miami, it was like New York, and not quite, but close to those prices. And they found Jacksonville, and they said, hey, this place has a lot to offer. So now what we've found since then is pretty much everybody who's going to buy bought. And they bought at, back then the rates were 2.5, 3.5, ridiculously low rates. Yeah. So even though they were paying more for the home, they were getting a better rate, so the payments were reasonable. Mm-hmm. What's happening though, and has happened over the last year or year and a half, and you know this very well because we've walked through this together, the people don't want to sell their house because they can't get another house for that price.
Yeah.
Or for that payment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can trade houses in price wise, but now they're going to have to pay. Well, it was 6.5, 7,
Yeah.
7.5 even in some instances. So people didn't buy. Now, people didn't trade houses. Then buyers would come in and go, gosh, I should have pulled the trigger 2 years ago. I would have paid $2,000 less for this house or $1,500 less for this house.
Mm-hmm.
Because the difference between a 2.5% rate and a 6.5% rate, it can be thousands of dollars
Yes.
depending on the price of the house. And that's in terms of monthly payments. So all of a sudden we saw a huge slowdown. Sellers didn't want to sell because they couldn't get that same lovely payment.
Right.
Buyers didn't want to buy because they wanted to wait out the interest rates lowering.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been the two things that have, up until about 2 or 3 months ago, and the rates finally started
Started down,
improving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once they started improving, we've seen some pent-up demand coming to bear. We just had you and I just listed a house,
Yes.
and it took 3 days for it to get shown, which would have never happened in the COVID era. There would have been 25 offers on it,
Yeah.
you know, the first day. Well, I'm exaggerating, but probably at least 3. But the first showing was after about 3 or 4 days, and they bought it.
Yeah.
And, you know, so people are beginning to want to move. It's a good time.
It's really good news because, I mean, right now it's showing, the market is showing like 65 to 75 days on market for a lot of houses. So 3 or 4 days and it's already being snapped up. That's a really big improvement over the past, I'd say 6 months or so,
Yeah.
where things have been sitting. So I think it all looks good. It's looking good.
Exactly, it's improving. So if you're a seller, it's probably a good time to put your house on the market because the anticipation is that the rates are going to go down
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more, so more buyers are probably going to come to the market, and there's not that much competition. It would probably be wiser to do it sooner rather than later. Most sellers wait till the spring market, but I'm thinking, Jesse, that it might be smarter to do around this time of year where there's very little competition.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a buyer, marry the house but date the rate,
Mm-hmm.
which means find the house you love. Don't be afraid if right now the rates are a little bit, there's an anticipation they may go down,
Mm-hmm.
because you can always refinance, and a lot of these companies will let you refinance. I had a friend, her mortgage company let her just change the rate downward, no cost. But sometimes you'll have to do, you know, a little bit of paperwork, a little bit of a cost but it's really worth it. So it might be a good time if you're a buyer to go ahead and take the step, because I feel like if the rates come down even, you know, during the spring market, if they come down another percentage point or something like that, there's going to be a flood of buyers and not enough houses again.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up paying more for a house because of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. I think you should probably go ahead and list your house if you're going to list it right now while there's not, you know, a bunch. But then if you're looking for houses, right now is a good time because you're going to beat out that spring market when all the competition comes, because nobody wants to be sleeping on their friend's couch.
You know what else is nice about this time is houses look good.
Yeah.
They are fall decorated and they're Christmas decorated, and they just look good. They smell good. Everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah.
And so, you know, people tend to really like to buy houses. You know, in my career, and this is I'm a bit of an anomaly, I usually sell more houses in November and December on an annualized basis than I do in spring, which I don't know why. That's just a thing that maybe I like Christmas.
Maybe.
Maybe I like this
Christmas
time of year.
spirit. Well, do you think that more people are coming from out of state or are they just moving around in Jacksonville?
I'm seeing a balance.
Okay.
The little couple that bought the house after it was on the market just a few days, they were a military couple and had just gotten pregnant, so they're very excited to have their first home.
Nice.
You know, so since we are a military town, we do have a contention of that. I still see people coming from out of town though. I had a man from Houston call me, no, Dallas, call me wanting to look at one of my waterfront listings.
Mhm.
You know, so they're seeing the fact that we can go online and we're still moderately priced compared to much of the rest of the country. Buyers are buying or are noticing the value and the family value that I was talking about
Yes.
earlier. The fact that
Yes.
you've got, you know, more sun year round. You've got, you know, more yard for your kids to play in. You've got beaches. You've got boating. You've got malls. You've got pumpkin patches.
Yeah.
You've got all kinds of things to.
We have a lot of the resort style, what are they called? Master plan communities. A lot of the newer ones here, and people who are moving from like California or New York or wherever, they're coming down here. They're wanting to go to these places that have like these little tight knit kind of communities, even though you're in this big, huge town.
With amenities.
And it has all the amenities. Yes, I've talked to a few people from all over the country that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the neighborhood swimming pool and
The Nocatee lazy river,
yeah,
the Stillwater golf
Right.
course right from your backyard,
Yeah.
at reasonable prices,
Mhm.
you know, and it's not, you don't have to spend $1 million to get one of those homes. You can come in, you know, mid-4s. And
yeah. And there you go. You have this wonderful community. You have all these activities that you can do, and they do like food truck nights and movie nights and
Jacksonville is a very community type
It is.
city.
It's that little town feel in such a big town. We're the biggest landmass town in the country, or in the continental U.S., right? Because anyway. But we're the biggest town landmass wise, but we are a small town.
We are. It has a very small town feel.
People will say like, oh, well, you know, as a real estate agent, you have to have like your area because you don't know the whole area. I beg to differ.
After 30 years, I know them all.
Yeah. Well, I just growing up, you know, I grew up on the south side, but I have friends that lived on the north side, so I was always on the north side. I have friends out in Orange Park, so I'm always out towards Orange Park. I will
Beaches.
Yeah, the beaches. I'll be like, I'm craving a pie on Wednesday night, and I'll drive down to St. Augustine and go to the Village Inn and eat pie, like, you know, because it's
Oh, I got to tell you about Pie Heaven.
it's only like an hour away. So like for us, it's an hour from the west side to the beaches. So an hour from here to St. Augustine, and you're in the same town, even though it's different now.
But what's nice is like in the Nocatee community,
Mm-hmm.
they've got shopping malls right in the middle of the community. If you don't want to go anywhere, it's a golf cart community. You
Exactly.
get in your golf cart, whisk yourself off to a beautiful night out steak dinner, or you can go grocery shopping or
Exactly.
any number of things. I mean, there's just everything right within the community. So you can be as big city as you want to be, spread out as you want to be, or you can actually, almost every community is surrounded by every amenity you'd
And
want. So.
walking trails, fishing, going to the beach, bike riding, so much stuff.
How much time do we spend inside because of the snow?
It's more the heat that keeps you inside.
Exactly. In the summer, probably July and August,
Mm-hmm.
we run from our car to our air conditioning, and then back to our air conditioned car, and then into the air conditioned restaurant, then from our. So yeah, but even though now I've moved to the beach, and now that I'm living at the beach, it's a few degrees cooler. It's actually not too bad.
Yeah. On hot days, it's nice to go to the beach. Even though I'll say when you have a swimming pool, like an in-ground pool or an above-ground pool, I'm like, oh, it's too hot to go swimming. My husband's like, what? But the water gets really hot in your pool unless you have a shade cloth or something. But if you go out to the beach,
That's what I did.
Exactly. If you go out to the beach, so you have that nice ocean breeze
Yeah.
that will cool you right off. And like Huguenot Park is a wonderful beach. You drive on it. If you can drive on it, there's a lot of people that tend to get stuck. But if you can drive on the beach without getting stuck, it's a great place to spend the afternoon or.
Or Hannah Park.
Yeah, Hannah Park's really nice too. My best friends, they moved just down the street from Huguenot Park, and so they will go and have coffee on the beach early mornings and just have a nice little walk, and like it's a great area.
Hannah Park is the furthest north before you get out of Jacksonville, and it's on the ocean. It has camping, it has pavilions at the beach, it has bike trails, it has a camp store, it has everything. You can go there and throw a big party. It even has a pavilion, an enclosed pavilion where you can get married looking at the water. And it's all very reasonable. It's owned by the city, so it's not, you know, off the charts expensive. It's to get in there, I think it's 50 cents a person to go to the beach for the day. And it's beautiful, pristine white sand. And not very crowded.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's right there by the base too. So you know, you have the people who are that whole little its own little town within a town. You know, the Mayport Village area and Mayport, Huguenot, all that stuff right down there. So it's really nice. Yeah.
So it's a good town to move to. It's a good time to make the move, to step up. Like I said, marry the house and date the rate. Pretty easy to change financing, assuming that it's going to go down. And you know, truly, and this is going to sound funny, when I first got into real estate in the 80s, the interest rates had just come down from the high teens to under 10%. There were buyers everywhere.
I could not imagine rates in the teens. I can't do it. I mean, people were freaking out over 7%. They're like, oh, it's so bad, I can't buy a house. And of course, the houses are a lot more expensive than they were in the 80s. But I just could not imagine paying, you know, and you're looking at a $300,000 house with teen rates. That no.
Yeah. Well, and that's the reason that I brought that up is because, you know, it's dropping below 6 now, and that's nothing compared to where historically things have been.
Yes.
Now, if you just look at the last 5-7 years, you think, oh, I could have gotten 2, but you can't look at yesterday. If you don't go ahead and make the step and get your first home, build your equity rather than throwing money away on rent, and you have tax write-offs and you have maintenance, but you know, it's kind of making the house your own and doing the things that need to be done.
Putting your own thumbprint. Every owner, or sometimes renters, will change their house and put their own stamp on it.
Yeah, but it's an excellent time to do it, and Jesse and I are here to help you. It's Mary Walker Miller.
Jesse Hagan.
We're with Team Mary Homes and Moxie Pro Realty. Please reach out to us at any time. Love to help you. Just give us a call, even if you just want to start a conversation. Talk about your personal situation. Tell us what your wants and needs and where you are. And do you need help with financing? Do you need help with credit? Do you need help with anything? Anything home related. Jesse and I've been through a lot of stuff, and we know how to help. She's a sharp girl, and I've just walked through it all. All right, well, thank you so much for taking time with us today. We will look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless.